So to start, I've just attached this clasp onto the wall so it's easier to demonstrate. And I'm going to take my cord and I fold it in half so that's the center point. And I'm going to go behind, over that part, down, and then pull the cords through. And we're going to do that same knot, so a reverse lark's head knot with all 4 cords. Now, the first rows are going to come out close to the top, not too diagonal. And how we're going to do it is we're going to divide it into 2, so 4 on this side, 4 on this side. And I'm going to take this one, so the 5th cord in, and there are 3 behind it. And I'm going to use that as my guide. I'm going to put it right about there. And we're going to do double hitch knots over that one. So I'll take the very next cord, put it over like that, and I'm going to pull it through that loop. And for each, you do that twice to close off the knot. So there's the first one, and now the second one. And I like to just push it up with my thumb just to get it into place. Now that we have our first row done, we're going to do the exact same thing in the opposite direction. So we have these 4 cords. I'm going to take the 4th one and I'm going to point it this way, and that will be our guide rope. And we're going to do the same as this side. So you take the first one, put it over, through, and tighten it. We're going to do that again. So over, through, and tighten it. I'm going to go all the way to the end. Now you want to make sure that these are pretty close to even. They don't have to be perfect, but just so that one side's not up like this and the other's down like that. Now to do the next row, so see we have 4 again on each side. We're just going to take the very first one that comes out here and we're going to pull it down that way, and we're going to pull this first cord there. We're going to pull it all the way up. We're going to leave a little space with the second and then a tiny bit more with the third. So see, I'm just leaving that little bonus space there just so I'm not pulling it up as tight as that one. Okay, so you can see both sides are pretty much even. We left the space there, a little bit of space there, And now we're going to repeat the same steps, and we're always starting with the very first cord. So now that we've done 1, 2, and 3, the sides are looking pretty even, although I want to tighten that one up a little bit. Now we're going to do the last one, and this one can be a little bit closer than the previous ones. Now that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows on each side, we are going to do a tiny gathering knot to close it off. And I have about, I'd say it's about 8 to 10 inches. And what we're going to do is, because all of these are there, I'm just going to push them back nicely until we get a nice closed center like that. And I'm going to turn it around and try to keep everything in place. And then with that scrap piece I have, I'm just going to make a tiny little loop down there. I hope you can see that. And now I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm going to check to make sure it's around the bottom of the 2 last knots. I'm going to go once and twice. Now if you want to do more and you want the gathering knot to be bigger or longer, you can do more times around. I'm just going to push that piece through that little loop that we made. Oh, it's giving me some trouble. And I'm going to hold it nice and tight while I pull that little upper piece out. Now I will cut off that bottom one. One last tug just to hide it a little. Okay. Now you can see that one's poking up a bit, so I'm just going to find it down here, give it a little tug to make it even. Perfect. And now I will decide the length of fringe that I want, and for myself I'm going to go down about 2 inches. Now you're more than welcome to leave the fringe like that, but for myself I use a metal pet comb and I just give it a good brushing out.